Three.
Hello, everyone. I am Benjamin Webb, or Linkage AX from Capsule Computers, and with
Hey.
me are Master Abbott,
Hi.
Justin Spencer, Travis Bruno, Luke Halliday, and one of
Hey.
our newest members, Evan.
Hello.
Let me just say, this is gonna be fucking the most stupidest video we've ever made. 'Cause
Anyway,
this whole fucking thing is fucking stupid.
Yeah, because it's not about
Yeah,
one.
it's all
It's not.
stupid.
Yeah, because it's not about One Piece, isn't it? It's because it's not the timeline
You know
for
why
One
Wind Waker
Piece.
was the best Zelda game? Wind Waker's the best Zelda game.
We're not
'cause it's
even-
almost
I haven't
like
even
one-
introduced
People
the topic
people
yet.
don't even know what you're
is
talking about. So anyway, carry on.
Sean,
Go, Shun.
Okay, so basically what we're going to discuss, if you hadn't guessed from Luke's interruption, the Legend of Zelda timeline as presented in the Hyrule Historia book. So basically, the timeline itself starts obviously with Skyward Sword, which is the first Zelda game. If you actually played that
How the
game,
fuck's that work? Hey,
if you actually fucking played the game, you would understand why it is first.
nah.
Because it sets everything into motion, it explains why Link and Zelda continue to reappear throughout history, it explains the Temple of Time, it explains much of the world's history. Anyway, and then it goes
Explain-
on to Minish Cap, Four Swords, and then where everybody is having a huge fucking... I don't
Let me
know.
just
I don't know
say-
how to explain it. Everyone's having a whinge at is Ocarina of Time. The
Let me say
best
this.
Zelda.
This is fucking stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, Hero of Time is defeated, so that puts a different timeline. The Hero of Time is successful. That makes two fucking timelines. How the hell does that work? One timeline
Right.
where he's a kid and one where he's an adult. If he was an adult, he was a kid first before he grew up. Does that mean he
Sean.
went through one timeline and then he grew up again and then time traveled back
Yeah,
and
that
did
is
another
exactly what
timeline?
happened. Look, I will tell you, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, I'll discuss
fuck?
the hero is
Look-
defeated timeline, okay?
Yeah. Start from
Now
that
that
one
everyone's
because that
played
one's actually
Ocarina
very
of Time,
important.
right? And everyone will notice that every time you get killed, it keeps a little counter of every time you've died. They took this out in later games because people don't like looking at how many times they've been defeated. But gamers of the past love this number. I loved it especially. I died 67 times on my first Ocarina of Time
69
playthrough.
times?
67.
Ah.
Sure.
Shut up, Phil, you dickhead.
Sorry, man.
Anyway.
I thought that was just a number.
Anyway,
that
so basically, you dying creates this one timeline where Hyrule turns to shit and Ganondorf takes over. And in this timeline, we got A Link to the Past, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda, and Adventure of Link. Which, if you actually played any of those games, you can see the declining health of Hyrule actually in those. So
Okay,
now we're going to
that's
switch
kind
off
of-
onto the next timeline, because that one needs the least explanation. Yes, all the evidence is there.
Defeated timeline makes sense to me, okay? That
Yes.
makes sense.
So we,
No,
do we
no,
have to
we
get?
have-
Do we have to get your approval, Luke, on everything here? This is for the public, mate.
Yes,
All
this
right.
is all
Okay.
about me and making sense for me.
You know
no
what?
One else.
You can
I don't
host.
care
You
the
can
entire
host.
public.
You can
They
host.
don't give a fuck.
Luke, you can host a One Piece one day. One Piece, you know,
I'll
anime
about the
rubbish crap.
timeline,
But for
world
now,
history of
Yeah.
One Piece.
yeah, go.
Anyway, so basically, we go back to Ocarina of Time, where we suddenly have two branches. The child era, where it is subquoted as Sacred Realm Protected, and then we got the adult era, where Ganondorf is sealed. I will explain both of these eras, hopefully well. Okay, so in the child era, essentially, Link has come back from being an adult after he's put the Master Sword back in the pedestal of time, because Princess Zelda sent him back from the end of Ocarina of Time before the whole end credits. And what he does is he goes on a quest in Majora's Mask, right? But while he's gone, we know that Ganondorf is still alive because Adult Link hasn't come around to kill Ganondorf yet. And without Link actually being there, considering he's actually left, he's no longer present in that timeline to defeat Ganon. So Ganon has free reign over the world. And then the sages come out and they seal him, which you see in Twilight Princess when you reach the
Okay,
Shadow
okay,
Colossus.
okay, stop for a sec.
So it's 1
Now,
to 9
Link-
clusterfuck.
Now Link, yeah, exactly. Link has gone to another fucking realm, which is Termina, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Now he's in Termina, and because of that, he's left this timeline.
Yeah.
Right? So the child Link left the timeline and went away to Termina. Now, where does the adult Link timeline come from? Where's that come from?
Okay,
The Link that doesn't go to Termina?
The adult timeline is where that's pretty much the canon storyline for Ocarina of Time is the adult timeline. So, you start off and then you become an adult by putting the sword in the pedestal. You defeat Ganondorf in your adult timeline when you pull out the Master Sword and shit. So in that half of the timeline, you've saved Hyrule pretty much, and everything all turns out peaches and candy or whatever the saying is.
That's Princess
thing
Peaches
that
and Mario,
confuses me-
man.
Wasn't there shit in Twilight Princess that kind of linked with Wind Waker, but here they've got them mixed in different timelines?
The Wind Waker links in Twilight Princess come from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Alright, then why is Four Swords got the Wind Waker art style, but is somehow connected to Twilight Princess? How the hell is Four Swords connected to Twilight Princess?
Okay. Right?
That doesn't
Four
make
Swords
sense to me.
happened in the past, okay? Four Swords has borrowed the handheld art style, which was prevalent in Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, which came out later. But the Wind Waker came out roughly around the same time, I believe, as the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
A Link to the Past.
Yeah,
and
that's the one.
they had the Four Swords link up there.
Oh man,
And
this is...
There's actually two versions of Four Swords, the GameCube one and the Game Boy one. Both of them are different. As you can see, you got Four Swords Adventures, which is actually in the Dark World or the Child Era timeline, and then you got the Game Boy one, which is earlier in the timeline. So this is all the first one is Ocarina of Time. So everything that's in Ocarina of Time is of course going to be referenced from Four Swords, and so on.
So wait, okay, let's go back even further up into the main timeline. That's the one before Ocarina. Why is Minish Cap so early in the timeline? Why is that the second fucking game in the timeline? Yeah, that's exactly. That's what this whole thing is. It's just like, oh, this is how it is because this is how it is. It's not.
They released
doesn't
the
make any
storyline out of
sense.
order pretty much.
Nintendo making sense is the biggest joke in the world.
It's alright. They came up
Seriously,
with the story and they had to work out where to put it. And pretty much the events of Ocarina of Time have yet to happen, but the events of Skyward Sword have happened. And it's the story in Minish Cap is set in a kind of just after Hyrule kind of place where the king, I believe, has just started rounding up all of the neighboring sort of areas to form them into Hyrule.
Somewhere before Wind Waker.
Yes, it is somewhere before Wind Waker. It's all the way before Wind Waker.
Or add in a different timeline. Yeah.
You can look at it like this, right? The first 4 games referenced in the timeline are part of every timeline, okay? And then they branch off when they hit Ocarina of Time. So, Skyward Sword, Minish Cap, Four Swords, Ocarina of Time are all referenced in A Link to the Past, like the Heroes Defeated timeline, the Child Era timeline, and the Adult Era timeline.
Alright. I think we should just honestly wrap this up. This is just
No, it's
stupid.
not. He's not finished yet.
Let me just say this. I want to say this because
You've ruined this entire storyline. You know, like
everyone that's listening cares what I have to say, so I'm going to say it now.
Yeah.
And I have to say that Zelda having a timeline is about as important as Mario having a timeline. It's not important at all. It's fucking stupid. Doesn't need to happen. Nintendo is stupid for even putting it. Fuck you, Nintendo. Fuck this world. Fuck this fucking video.
Go back
Fuck all
to
of you guys.
go back to your One Piece.
Goodbye,
All right.
everyone.
Yeah, go back to your
Goodbye.
One Piece. Anyway, continue.
Hello
back.
and goodbye.
Continue on, Link.
But as a hardcore Zelda fan, I say the timeline is important, even though it is incredibly confusing to anybody who is not a fan of the franchise. But having, all the games linked is an important thing for the series to have. This is because,
Not really.
right? Because, right, each of the games reference each other, and if you look at the references but you look at the games in a chronologically released order, it doesn't make sense. So having a timeline like this, it sets the references apart, and you understand better like what's happened in the world, why Ganondorf is a dick, and other kinds of things. So it is important, and that is the reason.
All right. Is there any final words or comments that you could share with everybody listening out there in video game land?
Yep. Honestly, if you don't care about the storyline, don't worry about it. Just have fun with the games.
All right.
It's not important to you, but it's important to other people. So you can ignore it if you want, but some people like having it. I like having it.
All right. And seeing that you are the primary resident guru of Zelda here at CapsuleComputers.com, would you be able to provide everybody listening on this podcast, not this really podcast, this video Zelda documentary video cast, if you want to call it, your maybe top 3 recommendations of the best Zelda games that people should purchase if they are new to the series and would like to get right into the game, the meat and potatoes, if you want to call it.
Okay. Definitely Ocarina of Time 3DS, Majora's Mask, and A Link to the Past. And then Wind Waker as well.
I want to say, best Zelda game is Wind Waker because
it's all about being on the guru.
Sea, like One Piece.
You're not the guru of this. Please don't talk.
Set sail for Wind Waking? Oh, but man.
If Wind Waker never came out, we'd never have Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks, which are the 2 worst Zelda games.
Okay.
I like Phantom Hourglass. Spirit Tracks was like fucking arse though. That was just...
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks is...
All right, so...
Avoid Spirit Tracks like the plague.
All right, so just give it a recap again, because I know Luke got in the way and he started talking again. So just so people don't get confused, can you just once more and the platforms are on?
Ocarina of Time 3DS, on the 3DS or the Nintendo 64 if you want the original Nintendo 64 version. Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64, or hopefully for 3DS if Nintendo ever get around to it, which they should because they're idiots if they don't.
Don't forget about
A Link to the Past. Yeah, the GameCube versions also, which you can no longer buy. A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance. All of these appear on the Virtual Console of some kind.
All right.
Yes. Also, Shigeru Miyamoto is currently working on a sequel to A Link to the Past for the 3DS at some point. That will come.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Here we go. This is rumors. These are rumors.
Okay,
it's
so
unverified.
This is the rumor section of this video cast.
Let's wrap this up, guys.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah, I think we've gone long enough. Everyone should understand, and everyone should have really enjoyed this conversation. Apart from the section.
Sucks.
Yeah, well, as I was saying,
Luke just likes arguing with people.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're sorry. We are very sorry that we actually had to have Luke in the podcast.
You're my greatest opponent.
Yep.
Thanks, Luke.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off for now, boys and girls. Thank you for listening. We will be back maybe for another one. Maybe when Luke decides to do one for One Piece, and we'll all jump in and tell him how shit it is, and then we will just go on from there. All right. So thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions, leave it on the comments down the bottom. Check us out at CapsuleComputers.com for the latest in the world of video games, entertainment, and everything else under the sun. So thanks for listening, and we'll be signing off for now. See you later.
Adios.
Hello.